How do we build a £50,000 per month plus solo coaching business with no team, no VA, no cold, pushy sales or outreach or anything like that? How do we build a highly profitable solo coaching business in today's market? This is exactly what we're going to go through today on part 3 of this mini series that we're actually going through. So I'm walking you through step by step by step. And what I'm going to do today is show you the exact 6 steps that I teach, coach, and mentor my clients through to build a highly profitable solo coaching business, but without feeling like you're handcuffed to your business like you're working a full-time job. In fact, you can deliver your service in less than 20 hours per week building this beast of a business. Okay, so this is just you, no team, no VAs, no success coaches, co-coaches, no group coaching model, mastermind, or anything like that. This is purely one-to-one coaching pushed to its absolute limits, but giving you the most efficiency possible so you can actually live a life of freedom. Okay, this is what we're going to walk through in part 3 of 4 in this mini series today. Okay, so before we actually start, we need to break down your beliefs in regards to how to actually charge for your coaching services. Now, the old way of charging, and I've been here before, back in the day, we started off exchanging an hour of our time for money, okay? And then we discovered monthly recurring revenue. And this was nice, new, and sexy as it kind of came in. It gave us this predictability into the business. And we started to charge £50 per month, £75 per month, £100 per month, 150, 200, 300, and so on and so on and so on. And over time, people have expanded that recurring revenue in regards to what they're charging on a monthly basis. Now, although this was fantastic, and this was a model that I actually ran for a good couple of years, and this was the model I ran in my fitness coaching business that I went on to exit, it gave you that stability, it gave you that recurring revenue, okay, that you actually needed. You knew that you were starting every single month on a certain figure, okay, but there was a few faults to the system, okay? Even though it was fantastic and a lot of people chase recurring revenue, there was a few faults to actually prioritizing recurring revenue. Number one, you couldn't run any form of paid marketing to it because the ROI in regards to cash collected and cash return on the money that you're spending on your ads, it just wasn't high enough to make it worthwhile. It was incredibly difficult in regards to actual ad spend being spent, getting larger and larger and larger to actually acquire a customer, therefore making the return on your ad spend worse and worse and worse. And you're kind of squeezed to a point which you are today where it's just not worth doing. It's really, really not. Now, even if you might be sat here thinking, well, what if your customers stay across a year and you've got a lifetime value of a couple £1,000s? Now, I'm going to tell you some home truths, okay? A lot of people think recurring revenue is predictable. It's not, okay? You cannot predict the future. And if you're thinking that you're nice and secure because you've got recurring revenue coming through the door, that future revenue that is due to hit your bank account is not guaranteed. It's not. Okay, even though it's automated, you've got it through your Stripe or your Go Cardless and it's due to come in, okay, that is fantastic. It's there and it's automated, it's due to come in the future. That's not in your bank yet. You cannot rely on that. You cannot guarantee that that will actually come in. You have cancellations, you have people that freeze, you have people that pause, you have life that actually happens, you have circumstances that happen, okay? And if you've not built your model correctly, then you're not going to have people stay with you forever, okay? So you cannot rely on recurring revenue, the future income of recurring revenue. You can't do that, okay? So there's a few faults to the recurring revenue model, okay? Another thing is keeping it a lot along with that theme. Recurring revenue paying clients will attach a month of what they're actually paying to you as a coach and a month of your time. They'll start to look away from the value of, let's say, a 6-month program or a 12-month program, even though let's say you've got a 6-month program or 12-month program and the result is achieved after 6 months, okay? If you're charging on a monthly recurring basis, if that client has not achieved that result within that month, they're going to look at you exchanging your time for their monthly payments that they're actually paying to you. Okay, so you have this weird relationship where people are investing into you as a coach, investing into you as a business, but they're psychologically attaching that investment to your time or to the month working with you and not the entire program. Okay, so there's a few faults to the system here. So what we actually need to do is we just need to first and foremost just break that belief that recurring revenue is the holy grail. Recurring revenue is the best way to grow your coaching business, because there's quite a few faults and there's quite a few things that are actually holding you back from hitting £50,000 per month plus and these higher numbers. You might be doing £5,000 a month right now, 10 grand a month, maybe even 15, 20, okay? And it's all recurring revenue, which is amazing, but that's not guaranteed for the future. And also, quite possibly, it's holding you back massively from achieving the heights of revenue and cash injections into your business that you actually deserve. Okay, so there's a few faults to the system. I'm not anti-recurring revenue. I'm just telling you it's not the only way, and it's not something that you should prioritize, because recurring revenue is not guaranteed in the future. Okay. The second belief that we actually need to break as well is that you need to have a sales call to sell high ticket coaching. You don't. And there's a way that you can do it without that. Okay, so there is a system in place that you can put in place where you don't need to have a single sales call. Again, the goal here is not only to grow a highly profitable solo coaching business, but to reduce your time as much as possible so you're not feeling handcuffed to your desk and your laptop, okay? Now, if you're fulfilling clients for 20 hours and then you've got another 20 hours of sales calls, all of a sudden now you've got a full-time job, and that's without any content, it's without any marketing, it's without any personal development. Now, all of a sudden you're working 60, 70-hour weeks as a solo coach because you've got this large capacity to be taking sales calls in your business. Let's remove them, cut them out. You don't actually need them, okay? And you might be sat here thinking, well, how do you get clients to pay you thousands of pounds without talking to them? It's not that you're not talking to them. You're just not dedicating yourself to a half an hour, 45 minutes, hour sales call in order to get people onto your signature offer, your core offer, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how to combat this, remove sales calls completely, because I've not done a sales call in years, okay? And I don't intend to do them moving forward, because I fulfill my clients over 100 in less than 20 hours a week. My clients are doing the same thing as well. So why would I then choose to bring that back into the roster? I'm not going to do that, okay? So let me introduce you to the new way of marketing, okay? A new way of marketing that is natural, it's predictable, it's actually quite refreshing, if I'm being honest, okay? Now, I've been in that position before, and I've built coaching businesses before where we take someone from our short form content to a sales call, and then we push that person over the line. Now, call it maturity, call it whatever you like. I am just at a stage now in my life where I want to work with the people that want to work with me. And I'm kind of at that stage now. I want things to be a lot more relaxed. I want them to be a lot more natural. I want to work with my client. I want my client to really want to work with me, and I want to really want to work with my client, okay? So I want to create a natural process, a natural flowing process. And this is something I've tried, I've tested, I've tweaked, and I've perfected now. And this is what you actually see here, okay? So this is the momentum marketing model, okay? And it actually creates predictability. So even though it's a lot more relaxed, a lot more horizontal, you're kicking back and sales are kind of coming through the door, okay? Which is what happens now when you plug this in and when you do this right. It's completely predictable, because you know if you put a pound in, you're going to get X out, okay? It's very, very predictable. I know I can put effort in, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. I can put a certain amount of effort into the business, and I know exactly what's going to come out of the other side. And what a nice way to grow your business, with predictability. So no more guesswork, no more throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks, no more just posting randomly on Instagram or TikTok or social media. Why not create a predictable model that actually works? And this is that, okay? So having a look at this cycle just here from start to finish, I'm going to walk through this, okay? So what you need to start with is your short form content. This is where everybody starts. Now, what you need to do is you need to choose one platform, just one platform. Don't listen to people that say, get on every single platform possible. Let's not overwhelm yourself. Of course, to a certain degree, that is helpful, but we want a predictable system that works, and we don't want to be handcuffed to the business. So pick one platform where your market lives, okay? And you need to do your research. Where are your ideal clients, and what platform are they on mainly? What short form platform are they on? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok? Is it Snapchat? Is it Threads? Is it X? Like, where is your market? Okay. Find out where that is, and that's where you need to live. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to post once or twice every single day on that short form platform of choice where your market actually lives. Okay. Now, what you're actually going to post on there, you're not going to try and sell. Okay, don't sell. It's the opposite of what you might be hearing online or by other gurus, or what you may have always thought about. It doesn't work like that anymore. It's incredibly hard to take someone from a short form platform to a sales call and sell a high ticket coaching package. We're trying to fast track a process that the nurturing is the most important part, okay? So what we actually want to post on there is we want to use it to go fishing. So we want to highlight key problems. We want to highlight them. We want to identify with them. We want to resonate to key problems. And we want to capture the interest and curiosity of our market. We want to make ourselves known, and we want to we want to create that awareness, okay, with our market. We want our market to start to find out who we are and the fact that we understand them. And this will draw your market in. And that's all we're trying to do, okay? Now, from there, we then want to send them to a solution, okay? So we've highlighted the problem, we want to send them to a solution. Now, for me, what is working really well right now is a YouTube playlist. So exactly what you're watching right now. This is part 3 of 4 of a mini series. This is a playlist. This is the solution, because I'm highlighting the problem. As I've already mentioned, coaches who are stressed, they're struggling, they're stuck. They don't necessarily want a team. They've chucked money at mentors and at ads and education. Nothing's really working, okay? Now, that is the problem, which I highlight on a regular basis. I know my market. I highlight all those problems. Now, within this mini series, I'm now going through the exact solution to that problem. And the solution is, okay, this is exactly how you can build a highly profitable 50 grand per month plus solo coaching business. That's the solution. So we want to send that short form audience to our long form, or to a solution. Now, it could be a YouTube mini series exactly like this. It could be a lead magnet that you've got. It could be an email nurturing sequence. We need to send them to a place that you can nurture that audience and build trust and build trust and build trust and build trust, okay? Now, what that solution actually is for you, that's something that I will work with you as a one-to-one client. It's going to be very, very person dependent, market dependent, business dependent, but you need to nurture that audience. You need to go from curiosity to trust, and that's exactly what you need to do through there, okay? Now, in the middle of that, we don't just want to create that solution once and that's it. Obviously, that is created once and that is it, and that is fantastic. It's nice and efficient. But we also want to be creating long-form content for the people who are really, really curious, but they need a longer period of nurturing. So we need to cover that aspect, okay? So once or twice a week, we need to then be creating long-form content that we're then sending right back to that solution, okay? So we're creating a little bit of a system here, okay? This natural flowing system. We've got a short form being outputted, and we know exactly its purpose. We're sending all of those people to your solution, okay? Or your long form content. Your long form content is going to the solution as well. And we've got this natural flowing output to the business, to our marketing, okay? And every single piece of this puzzle has a purpose. And this is what we want to get across, okay? So then from your solution, okay, well, let's say it's a playlist like this is right now, this mini series, I'm then sending you to my micro offer, okay? So my micro offer is between 2 and 4 weeks to actually work with me one-on-one. This isn't a diluted service. It's not a trial. It's not a challenge. It's nothing to do with that. It is an opportunity to invest and actually work with me on a smaller scale, get a tremendous amount of value, and then this is bringing you into my ecosystem. You're becoming a client of mine without the scariness or feeling daunted or overwhelmed or pushed or forced into a sale to work with me on a long form basis. Okay, it's an opportunity for me as a coach to prove to you that I can do what I say I can do. This is exactly what it is. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the client to get a tremendous amount of value. Okay, in my particular case, my micro offer is my Kickstart program. You're going to work with me one-on-one, and we're going to plug in the exact system that I personally use, or my clients use, to build a highly profitable solo coaching business. We're going to plug the system in. Okay. Now, as soon as you plug the system in, you can now decide if you want to work with me on a longer term basis or you don't. And that is absolutely fine. But you've had the opportunity and I've had the opportunity. So we're both working together on a one-to-one basis, and we're kickstarting a relationship that could potentially be a long-term relationship, or it could not be, and it's absolutely fine. But at least then you're putting all of your efforts as a coach into the people that are wanting to work with you, because people won't pay you unless they want to work with you. So I know every single person that joins my micro offer, they're wanting to be there. Okay, and that's incredibly important. So this is the biggest difference between someone who's just a free lead and you're trying to nurture them, trying to push them on a sales call, etc. It's exhausting. Okay, I want to put my efforts into the people that want to be there. And this is what this micro offer does. Okay, so it's a huge opportunity. Okay, and then from your micro offer, the money that you actually generate from your micro offer, I then take 10 to 25% around that region, depends on your marketing budget, okay, within your business personally. 10 to 25% is fantastic. You then pump that back into this cycle that you can actually create more awareness from your short form and then bring them back through that flow. So you're increasing the output on the front end and bringing them back into this flow. Okay, that's exactly what you're doing. Now, the people that then complete your micro offer, we then have an opportunity to personally invite those people to your core offer, which is then your high ticket program. Okay. But the reason you don't need a sales call is because you've just been working with them one-to-one. So you don't have to hop on a sales call and try and sell yourself and what you actually do. They're a current client of yours. You're just upgrading them. So all you have to do is send them a personal invitation to your core offer, to your core program, okay, with the payment details, with the breakdown of the program, with the breakdown of exactly what happens next, okay? And then people naturally come through. The people that want to stay on and work with you long term, they do. The people that don't, they don't. And that is absolutely fine. So now you've created this flowing, natural system, but it's completely predictable, because I know as a coach, and my clients who have inputted this as well, they know exactly what to output at the very start of this process and the purpose of each thing that they're outputting. Okay, there's a system in place. And this is what most people are missing. And this is why we're posting short form content or YouTube videos and it's completely random, it's sporadic, and we're trying to chuck value out there and book a call, book a call, book a call. This used to work and I used to do that, okay? But I found I wasn't starting the relationship in the right way with the client if I had to overcome objections and push them into a sale, okay? You almost start in the relationship, you've got something to prove. I want to start a relationship in the best way possible, a natural way, with both of us wanting to actually be there, okay? I don't want to push people into a sale. It's not what I'm about, okay? I've done that in the past. I know how to do that, but I'm at an age now and I've got a predictable, natural business where I'm working less than 20 hours a week. I can spend the rest of my time with my family and be present. It's highly profitable and I can leverage those profits into my personal goals that I've actually got. I enjoy every single one of my clients that I work with. I love them all. They're all absolutely fucking fantastic. Okay, they're a pleasure to work with. So I'm waking up every single day wanting to speak to them. It's not a chore, it's not draining, it's natural, it's exciting, and it's enjoyable. And this is the coaching model that I've created, and this is how I bring people in to the business, okay? Now, let's just break this down in regards to numbers, okay? So how this actually works from a performance perspective. let's say your core offer is between £2,000 and £12,000. Okay, so I've helped my clients, I've done this before, sell within this region. Okay, £2,000 to £12,000. I wouldn't make it any less than £2,000. Anything over £12,000 is a little bit more difficult to upsell from your micro offer to. Okay, so within this region is absolutely fantastic. So if you wanted just one sale, how many people in your micro offer would you actually need? So you would need 3 people who are micro offer clients of yours to gain one person who signs up on your core offer. Okay, so a 3 to 1. Okay, nice conservative numbers. These are average numbers to give you expectations of how this system actually works. Now, with your micro offer, the best way to actually price this that I've found is 50 to 75% of what you would be on a monthly recurring basis. If you were to break down your program investment into months, okay, if you were to break it down, not monthly recurring basis, this isn't what you're charging here. You want to charge for the program, you want to charge for the results. That is really, really important, okay? But around 50 to 75% of what you would be on a monthly basis, if you broke it down, you want to charge that as a one-off payment. So it's not a long-term commitment. Your micro offer will last anywhere between 2 weeks to a month within that region. So a short period of time for you to prove yourself, but jam-packed with value and a phenomenal experience you actually want to give, okay? It's not a trial, it's not a diluted service, it's working with you one-on-one for that period of time, okay? So for example, with my Kickstart program, it's for 30 days, okay? So you want to charge in the region of £200 to £1,000 because we're taking someone who's not paid you a penny yet. We don't want to take them from nothing to thousands of pounds. We need that stepping stone in place. Okay, why don't I invest a little bit and why don't I find out if this person can actually do what they keep saying that they can do? Let me invest a little bit. It's less of a risk, but they're still paying something to get involved within that program and within that service, and it works phenomenally well. Okay, so £200 to £1,000 is what I see works incredibly well. And also you're cash flowing, and then you can reinvest a percentage of that back into the start of that process. So out of those 3 people that come onto your micro offer, I would expect 150 views, 150 people within your lead magnet, your email nurturing sequence, your playlist, your mini series, whatever you're doing to solve your market's biggest problem, to show them the way forward, to show them the way from point A to point B. That's what you're trying to do with this nurturing sequence. So 50 views, 50 people per one micro offer is what you're looking at on average, roughly, okay? To get people from completely free, they've not paid you a penny yet, to then investing into your micro offer. And that's what I would expect. And then from there, from your short form, reversing all the way back now to your short form, I would expect 1.5k views plus with your short form content before you're then sending all of that short form content to your playlist. So around 10% of your short form viewers will actually be curious enough and actually put in the time, effort, and attention to consume your content. Because remember, that is still an ask. And that is still a problem that you actually have to overcome. And that is something that you've continuously got to push people towards. Because even though someone's not investing their money with you yet, you're asking people to invest their time, their effort, their energy, their focus into the next stage in this process. So I would expect about 10% of that audience will actually do that. 90% of your market will sit there, look at your short form content and flick and do nothing, and they'll be sat in a problem and they actually themselves, they don't want to solve the problem. They don't want to put the effort in. They don't want to try. Okay, and you're always going to have a market that actually does that. They don't want to take action. And that is absolutely fine, but you've got to expect that. So 10% action takers, 90%, they're just going to stay exactly as they are, okay? So I would expect these numbers when it comes to this system just here, okay? So in order to create one core offer sale, your high ticket offer, your premium signature service, I would expect to get 1.5k views plus on your short form if you're following this nurturing system just here, this marketing method, okay? And that's the system, okay? Now, something I plug in, I teach and I coach, I mentor, my clients through on a one-to-one basis in regards to making this actually work, and that's something I do through my build program. But before we actually get to that, as soon as that system is actually in, I now want to talk about the 6 steps that will allow you to build towards a 50K per month solo coaching business, highly profitable, okay? That is consistent, is predictable, and also you got longevity to the business. Because we're not talking here about a coaching business that is around for the next 3 to 6 months. We're talking about a coaching business that is here to stand the test of time. And this is what we want, okay? We want longevity to the business as well, okay? And I've broken things down. I've reverse engineered my own success, my client's success. I've reverse engineered it to 6 steps. The 6 steps that you actually need to be consistent, to be predictable, and to have that longevity with a 50K per month plus and growing solo coaching business as we move forward, okay? So, step 1, get shit done. The most overlooked and brushed past aspect of a coach is time management. Now, even me saying that, there'll be some of you watching this that have just rolled your eyes. Oh, time management, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I just get busy and like this, that, I've got a to-do list, I've already got this. And excuses are just flowing out of you already, okay? Now, for you to master your time, you're then creating control. And when you're in control of your outcome. When you're in control of your outcome, you're in control of your personal goals and where you're actually going. So you turn the theory of your goals into reality, into something that you can actually create and actually make happen. And it all comes back down to, are you in control? And most coaches I speak to, they are not. They're waking up, they're putting out fires, they're very reactive. They're working with their clients over here and they're doing check-ins, they've got a support call, they're building service, they're developing their service, and everything is all over the place, okay? So the first step in this 6-step process is to help you master your time and for you to gain control with everything that you do, not just within your business, but outside of your business, in your personal life. How do you master your time, gain complete control, and make sure that every single minute that you spend in your day is accounted for and is returning you the biggest return on investment that you can possibly get for your time? This is what we want to create first and foremost, okay? So this is now step 1, and this is something that I'll take you through within the build program, okay? Step 2, learning how to sell coaching. So we have a system in place that is natural, that flows really nicely, it's predictable. We've already discussed that and given you an overview of that, okay? But how do you use copy in the way that actually sells? How do you convince people to actually buy, okay, without being a sleazy bastard? How do you naturally just show people that open door? Okay, this is the place that you actually go next. Let's teach you how to actually sell. If you do get objections or you do get people that are resistant, but you know that you can help them, how do you handle that conversation? How do you have conversations? How do you communicate properly? Okay, how do you move people through that marketing system? How do you do that as efficiently as possible? And this is what we then master within step 2 of this process. Step 3, how do we then make money from your DMs? Over time, this has become progressively harder and harder because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trying to spam you with cold DMs and trying to offer you something. And I'll be frank with you as well. When I get these messages, I'm like, delete, fuck off. that's how I feel. I'm like, go away, because I don't want to entertain someone who's coming on too strong. So how do we start a conversation with strangers? How do we nurture a conversation? How do we turn those conversations into curiosity, into trust, into buyers? Okay, how do we do that? So I then walk through in step 3 exactly, and step 3 is exactly how to communicate with people properly within the direct messages, behind the scenes of your content. So when we're talking to people through social media, or we're taking that skill set and we're talking to someone at a networking event or in person, we bumped into someone. How do we control conversations and steer them in the way that we actually want to, in a natural flowing way? How do we actually do that? Okay. Step 4 then is learning the psychology of pricing. So power pricing. How do we understand our target market inside and out, and we understand buying habits and buying psychology? If someone is looking to purchase your product, what else are they spending their money on outside of your product and your service? Where's that money going? What is the flow of money within your target market? And then what can we do to bring some more of that money in-house into your ecosystem? Step 4 is exactly what we go through here to make sure that you truly, and I mean truly, understand your target market. And most people have an idea. Some people take it to the next level and feel like they really understand their target market. But I'm talking about elite level understanding of your market and everything about them, the psychology behind them, the spending habits, the buying habits, and understanding where that money flows within your ecosystem, within your target market, and bringing it into your ecosystem. And this is what we go through in step 4, okay? Very, very underutilized tool here, and something that we go through. And this has made me thousands of pounds without actually doing too much extra work, just by understanding and then repositioning my offer, okay? Step 5 then is how to then become an expert coach. Now, the reason this is pushed back to step 5 is because we're already a good level coach, which is fantastic. Now we're building the business. But now step 5 is all about now taking it to that next level. How do we create mastery in regards to our ability to coach our clients, to get great results, to get more referrals? How do we really level things up? Something that's taken me 14 years to get to this position, and I'm still learning, I'm still getting better, okay? But how do we take things to the next level? Most people actually accumulate a degree of knowledge and a degree of skill set, okay? And then they stop there because they then shift to focusing on the business. It's important that we pull you back to your coaching ability, because your coaching ability is directly correlated to the money that you earn as a solo coach. How do we get better, more efficient, create better results for our clients, give a better experience, and just level everything up? And then the final step is magnetic reputation. Now, how do we continuously bring people into our ecosystem if we decided to go on holiday? If we decided to stop outputting within this system, if we decided to disappear for a while. Now, this is something that I actually learned, and this is why this is one of the steps within here. When my son was born, I disappeared off social media for 6 months, but I put in certain aspects into my business, into my infrastructure, that allowed me to still accumulate sales, still work with my clients, and still grow my income. And I've stopped posting short form. I stopped posting long form. I stopped trying to acquire clients, but the clients would still continue to come in. How do you do that? How is that possible? So, and the reason this is a really, really important step, and the final step in this process, is because most people think as a solo coach, and I've actually been on a podcast and spoken about this and butted heads with another coach about this. Most people think when you're a solo coach, you can't go on holiday because you're the only one in the business. You're the jack of all trades. You have to be there all of the time. No, you don't. That's actually the biggest lie ever told. As a solo coach, you can have full freedom and flexibility. You can go on holiday. You can take breaks. You can disappear for a while. You can recharge. And this is all about building a business that is suited around you and the life that you actually want. And I know the exact system to make that work, and I've fucking done it. I took 6 months completely off, just disappeared, and my business continued to generate revenue with the infrastructure that I put in place. And I'll show you exactly how to actually do that, okay? So the first thing that you've actually got to complete is the Kickstart program, okay? The link again is in the description just here. We will plug in the exact system for you to grow a highly profitable solo coaching business. There is no point going through these 6 steps unless you've got that system in place. And that's why you can't even access my core offer. My core offer is only sent to you as an invitation once you've completed my Kickstart program. Okay, so the first thing that you've got to do is click below, plug in that system, and make sure that you completed that Kickstart program in order to even get access to these 6 steps. Now, as soon as you've plugged in that system, We will then break down, you've had a really good overview today. I've showed you exactly what happens and exactly how to grow a solo coaching business. Whether you join my ecosystem or you don't, you've been taught today exactly what to do, exactly the flow of acquisition, what the system looks like, what the stepping stones actually are for you to prioritize as a coach to build a highly profitable solo coaching business, okay? But what we want to do is we want to implement all of this. We actually want to plug it in. We actually want to make this happen. And this comes from working with myself, okay? So the first step is for you to join the Kickstart program. Again, the link is in the description, okay? 30 days, we'll plug in the entire system. It's bespoke to you and it'll be ready. It'll be ready so you can take on 100 clients plus, work less than 20 hours, and you've got a coaching system and a model that is efficient and it is ready. As soon as you've done that, you'll then be invited to then join my core offer, okay? My build program, which is across 6 months, following these 6 steps, and step by step by step, we will build the business, build its revenue, work on you becoming the best coach that you can possibly be and the best business owner that you can possibly be. Raise your revenue and your profits and get you to a point where you've got consistent, predictable revenue coming into the business, but you built it in a way that has longevity. You're not going to disappear in the next year. You're going to be around for the long term with the way that you're building things, okay? This is how everything works, all right? So I hope you found step 3 of this mini series really, really helpful so far. By now, it's really important as an action taker that you click the link below and you get involved in the Kickstart program, okay? You've been shown the Kickstart program, what's involved, how it works, the value of it. You've been shown what happens next and the exact stepping stones to build a 50K per month solo coaching business. You've been shown and taught all of that. Now, whether you go away and try and implement that all on your own, good for you, go for it. I recommend that you do. But if you want to implement all of that properly, without wasting time, without wasting energy, without wasting resources, implement this properly, you will build a highly profitable solo coaching business guaranteed, okay? For the action takers, I'll see you on the other side, but I hope you've really, really enjoyed step 3 of this mini series. I'll speak to you soon.